Like and subscribe right now, or else this will be in your bed tonight. r/AskReddit by Planet Reddit. What's the most bullshit fact you can make up that sounds true? Hitler was very fond of a specific type of French cheese made in Clermont-Ferrand. Even going so far as to pay the cheesemaker 10,000 French francs in 1941 to move into a small cottage near Berghoff to make and deliver the cheese to him every week. The thing is, Hitler did so much batshit weird stuff in his personal life that I wouldn't doubt this. SS members who got a certain number of sniper kills would be awarded with a pistol signed by Heinrich Himmler. So yeah, Nazis could unlock a weapon after a long kill streak. If that's true, I would absolutely believe that Hitler paid a cheesemaker to move closer to him. A female buffalo is called a buffalo. Edit. Today I learned this is, kind of, true in Italian and Portuguese. Sorry. English is my only language. So I thought my false fact was 100% true. In the USA they're more correctly called bison, with the females called bidorta. Bison. I'm going to get cigarettes. He never came back. The compact disc, or CD, was given its letter designation as the media technology to follow cassette tapes that had sides A and B. Naturally, electronic files, or EF, would replace those. A coconut is a mammal because it grows air and produces milk. Edit. I thank you, anonymous Redditor, for the amazing gift of Reddit Gold. In return I shall give the homeless person I walk by at lunch today some money. This one is actually not far off. Coconuts also give live birth. The one I always get people with is that they're called cops or coppers because their badges used to be made out of copper. I have genuinely believed this for quite a while now. From Wikipedia. In British English the term cop is recorded, shorter Oxford Dictionary, in the sense of to capture from 1704. Derived from the Latin capere via the Old French caper. People used to hire a specific servant to ensure that all the clocks in their house were kept wound and with correct times. This is the origin of the phrase night watchman. I wish this were true. I like it. This is all hurting my brain. I have to visualize all theories as if real. Then have to tell my brain it is false. The average horse ejaculates about as many calories as a Burger King Whopper. This sounds like it might be true. We must test this theory. Bigger horse breeds can spew out 400 cubic centimeters of semen. That's about 81 teaspoons. A teaspoon of human semen is between 5-7 calories. Assuming horse semen has similar caloric value, that equals about 500 calories per big horse orgasm. So, it's not far off. Also, I need to clear my Google searches now. It's very important in colder climates to completely deflate the tires of your vehicle and refill them with new air on the day of the first frost. The air in the tires from summer has a significantly higher percentage of moisture and runs the risk of freezing in the tire come winter, causing serious damage to the integrity of the tire. You should also change your blinker fluid every other oil change. Fun fact. The reason blinkers need a special fluid is because they use special incandescent liquid halogen. Unlike standard lights. That's why they're much brighter than typical headlights and glow orange. Over the course of a few years, the blinker fluid is slowly used up and must be replenished for the turn signals to work. People who neglect to change out their blinker fluid usually end up without their turn signals working and could end up with a citation or even jail time. It's a very small part of car maintenance and requires infrequent attention. But long-time car owners should ensure that they take proper care to ensure their blinkers don't run out on them. I'm fine. Just a bit tired. Oof. 3G, 4G, and 5G refer to how many internet satellites are pointing at you. You mean, how many internet satellites are pointing their dongs at you? Differential optical navigational gyroscope. Things you can do online now. Guys. Edit. You've popped my silver cherry. So much glitter is produced each year and released into the wind that it's theorized that every human on Earth has at least a single speck of glitter on their bodies at all times. Duck glitter. There is glitter on me now from my wedding 3 years ago. Not a fake fact, unfortunately. Edit. Since so many people have asked if I shower/use soap etc. Once you have glitter on you, you always have glitter on you. No matter how hard you scrub, not matter how many times you shower, you still have ducking glitter on you somewhere. Since you can never fully wash it off, it falls off you in bed, on the couch, in your clothes, everywhere. Then when you finally think you have washed it all off, you rub against something and then you have glitter on you again. It's in your hairbrush. It's on the floor of your bathroom. It's on your towels. It's in your dirty clothes. It's in your clean clothes. Now it is in your washing machine and clothes hampers. It's in your bedding. Somehow, it's on my ducking cat. Worst of all, my wife sees a speck of glitter and she remembers about all the glitter makeup she has and now she's wearing it again. Herpes of the crafting world. Funny thing about these bullshit fact threads. They actually started way before Reddit. They were really big in the 90s and early AOL chat rooms. The room would be called something like shit you made up or made up shit room. Is this your submission or a real fact? Not sure. But I used to be a writer for the Daily Email Top 5 list, which itself was a takeoff on Letterman's Top 10 list. And we would at least yearly have a top X facts you just made up list. This would have been in the early 2000s. The word no originally stood for negative. Operator. Edit. Didn't expect this to get so much attention. This isn't the first time I've used this fake fact. I once told it to someone on Twitter, and they 100% believed it. I confessed I'd made it up afterwards, but I swear that their brain exploded. Dogs can smell sexual preferences in humans. Cats can see what kind of race a person is. This is my favorite. Can't stop laughing. Perfect. Rocks can float in magma the same way that ice floats in water. Does rocks float on lava? Gavin Free. From RT podcast number 256. What if your legs didn't know they were legs? The average ant consumes more than 30 times its body weight in a month. Damn, their anuses must be incredibly loose. Yes. But that's for unrelated reasons. The term bouquet as in a flower bouquet came from Jacques Bouquet, who was an aspiring landscaper for nobles in the 15th century. However, he found no work and instead resorted to arranging handheld bunches of flowers for sale on the street. You're actually not far off from the truth. The man's name was Thomas Bouquet, and he was a collector of night soil, which is a polite way of saying poop. In order to help with his job, he invented a piece of equipment that looked similar to a bowl, albeit much deeper and adorned with a metal handle. Prior to the development of this bouquet, as he called it, collectors of night soil had to haul their burdens by hand. There was a downside to the invention, though. Despite making the job of collecting excrement much easier, the stench of a used bouquet was almost unbearable. In order to combat this, the inventor started selling assemblages of flowers which could be employed to offset the aroma. And those floral arrangements soon grew in independent demand. Then, after the United States broke away from England, linguists in the fledgling country chose to distinguish between a bouquet and a bucket, which was originally pronounced in almost the same way. Sadly, the fortune which should have gone to Thomas Bouquet's family was misplaced in the early 17th century. On account of the fact that I made all of this up and they never existed at all. I'm going to end this in a way that tricks people who are skimming. To this day, the transition from bouquet to bucket is heralded as being the last known example of intentional linguistic evolution in an otherwise nearly crystallized language. Now that is good bullshit. Well done. Nice try, BuzzFeed. This is the most plausible fact here. CVS stands for chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, as they originally opened as an ice cream shop. This kind of intuitively makes sense to me because drugstores used to be where you would buy sodas and ice cream. Wait, did you make this up? Reading this thread, nothing feels safe, lol. Uganda has no escalators. Real fact. There are 2 escalators in the entire state of Wyoming. Edit. Got rid of Google and link. Those things suck. That is rather odd. You would need a lot of elevators, or a couple of large ones, to move the number of people per minute that an escalator can. It seems that way anyway. The New American Dictionary christened Meese as the official plural for mouse to commemorate 75th US Attorney General Edwin Meese. A moose once bit my sister. The way to tell if a nut is a real nut or not is if nut is a separate word, for example. Peanuts and coconuts aren't nuts but macadamia nuts are. Edit. Further research has shown imadumbus and pistachios are in fact seeds. So new, for example. Okay, Lugnut. Explain walnuts. Walnuts are actually marsupials. Until they enter the Earth's atmosphere. At which point they are called magma. Our 14th president, Zachary Fillmore, needed to hire a spell check after misspelling hundreds of words of official documents. I love how you completely made up a reasonable sounding president name as well. My dumbus was nodding along like, yes, I've heard of that guy. Waiting for the made up part to start. A single piece of macaroni is called a macaronus. Thank you for the 2 golds. Pretty sure it's a macarono. It's definitely macaronus. The Olympic event of pole vaulting was originally invented by ancient Greek prisoners in order to escape over prison walls. These prisoners were praised for their cleverness and allowed to remain outside of prison. Dead outside the prison. But still outside. Due to selective breeding, modern horses actually put out 1.2 horsepower instead of the calculated 1 horsepower from back in the day. This is a stolen joke from the Painkiller Already podcast. 1 horse actually produces 14.9 horsepower. It will produce 19.47 horsepower if you give it coffee. Olives are just pickled grapes. You could convince me. What if you did try to pickle a grape though? Now I need to know. Everyone's anus has the same number of ridges and folds. They just vary in size. Everyone's anus pattern is as unique as a fingerprint. Goes through airport. Okay sir. Please bend over and spread your cheeks. When performing an operation, there is a 1 million chance that a computer processor will experience a quantum entanglement event and flip a bit from a 0 to a 1, throwing off the result. While our intuition tells us that a 1 million chance is very small. Since computers can compute as many as 10 trillion computations per second. This sort of error actually happens several times per minute before the advent of multiple cores. This is why modern dual-core processors were invented. Every calculation is done twice, once on each core, in order to ensure accuracy. If there is a discrepancy in the answer between the 2 calculations, then both cores go back to the stored values and perform the operation again until they both agree. To get around this performance hit, eventually 4, 8, and 16 core processors were invented. And the recalculation operations only happened when there was an even split among the cores about the correct answer. Edit. Well, this certainly blew up. Thank you for the silver. I couldn't clearly see who sent it even though they left a name because RIP my inbox. But it is certainly appreciated. To all my sysadmins and other IT folks who were made angry by this. I'm the teensiest bit sorry but laughing my ass off at the reaction, so thank you. What if both cores fail when performing the calculation? I didn't want to get too computer science-y. But that's part of the function of the cache. It takes the values before they're passed back to RAM and do a quick sanity check against the input values to see if the answer looks cache money, and if not it sends the calculation back for validation. You have to calibrate the cache, since if it's too stringent you lose performance. But if it's too loose you end up with too much miscalculation. Did you know that the wipers on a car are set specifically to not mimic a metronome? Due to the subconscious distraction of perfect rhythm? I forgot this was in a bullshit thread and actually almost believed this. If you were to compress the gas giant Jupiter down to the same density, it would actually be smaller than its own moon. Europa. Edit. I mean compress it down to the same density as Europa. As people seem to be confused. Either that or they're commenting before reading the end of the sentence. Europa is the only other subject of the sentence after all. And yes, it's obviously bullshit for all the reasons stated. But try telling it to the average person who has no interest in space or science and see how many believe you. It's a lot more than you think. Don't you mean Europa's moon? Jupiter? Oh, how the turntables. Little known fact. Sleeping too much will make you more tired. Your body thinks you have more time than you do and works harder on growing. If you sleep over 8 hours or under 8 hours, you will be tired. IDC if it's real or not, this is true. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for 3 videos a day.